guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Delaney with DeathandCandy 27. Today we're going to be doing my second declutter. These are going to be my face palettes and loose singles, so blushes, contours, powders, highlights, liquid highlights, creams, all for the face. Anything that's not like an eye product or an eyeshadow. I can't wait to show you guys all of this shit and tell you how much I'm keeping because Jesus Christ. We're going to be using this pile for keeping. Off camera is going to be things that I'm going to be either destroying or getting rid of just in general, not gifting to anyone. And then in this corner down here is going to be giftings. I'm going to start with my face palettes first, and then we're just going to go ahead and get into it from there.
Tell me what to do. Show me how to feel.
Let's go ahead and start with all of these Tarte palettes. So I have the Park Avenue Princess. It's one I got in my BOXYCHARM. It has 4 contour shades. Some have a little bit of shimmer in them, and then 2 like face powders. This one here on the end is more of a pink. This second one is kind of neutral, and then the other contours slightly vary in tone, but it's more so like finished. They're all kind of like the same to me. This one on the end is kind of the darkest. I normally use maybe 2 to 3 shades out of this thing, but it is so relatively new that it's going to last through this declutter. But maybe next time around, if I have another contour kit that I like, I'll go ahead and get rid of this one, but for now it's gonna stay. Next palette from Tarte. This is actually my first limited edition palette. This is the collab that they did with Graveyard Girl, aka Bunny. She used to be really big, I think like early 2013, 2016, but after that she's kind of fallen off. The actual palette is really nice. It comes with 9 eyeshadows, which I don't normally use, but it is very nice for like travel if I want to take just one palette with me. The blush in here and the highlight are super nice, and it smells really great. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm still gonna try to use it every once in a while because it was my first ever limited edition that I like waited to go in store and actually buy. Okay, another Tarte palette. I think this is my last like Tarte palette. So this is the Tarte's Pro Glow. I really like the way that this opens. It's a nice soft touch case. It does stay really dirty. This one has 2 blushes, 2 kind of like highlighty shades. One's more of like a blush tone and the other one's more of a neutral tone. And then 2 contour shades, one that has shimmer and one that's a matte. I do really like Tarte's blush formula, and the contour shades are not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this one and try to utilize these 2 shades here in the center more. This may not survive the next declutter, just like that Park Avenue Princess, just because like I only use so many shades in this versus using all of them on like a single or something. Another oldie but a goodie. This is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Shapeshifter. This is in the light medium shift. I think they have a medium deep shift as well. This has 4 powders and 4 creams. I think it's 4 creams. 5, excuse me. But it has this little mirror here on both sides, so if you want to use this for travel, this is actually super nice for travel because it's nice and sturdy. There's 2 contour shades in here. I really like this one right here just because it is a little bit more cooler tone, and I prefer a cooler tone because I have light pink skin. I don't really use the setting powder, but it's there if I do need it. And then there's like a little highlighter shade. It doesn't really do a whole lot, but it's there if you need it. Flipping over to the cream side, we have kind of a shimmery cream color here at the top. I kind of like that it's the opposite on both sides. Then these 2 are more of like blush, or if you have to do like any correction, if you use like a light pink as a corrector, you have that available. There's like a lighter color here if you want to use that to correct anything, and then a really deep contour color. I want to get into using this one more in 2020 just so I can go ahead and kind of get more use out of it, but I really do like it for travel. And this thing is like a brick. Like you could hit the shit out of someone with this. Let's do some other old ones here. Okay, Too Faced Cocoa Contour. This is one of the original ones. I really only ever jump into this medium cocoa shade. I don't ever use the highlight that's in here or the light powder, even though it is a good light color for me. I just never use it because I don't use like a pressed powder like that. The dark cocoa is okay, but it does pull extremely orange and warm on me, and I'm not really a warm tone contour or bronzer kind of bitch. I like cool tones. So I'm actually going to declutter this one, but it is so old that I'm actually going to put it in my destroy videos that will be coming. Cover FX. This is one of my newer ones. I still really like this. This is the Perfector face palette. I don't think this one says light medium, so they must have a medium deep or whatever their equivalent of that is, but I actually do like the size of it. I think it's perfect for a face, and on the back it actually shows you which are which, versus some palettes, you know, you can't ever tell what's where, like that Tarte one for example, the Pro Glow. It just has the names on the back. It doesn't tell you like which side is which is annoying. I do really like the contour shades in here. I don't really use a lot of the highlighter shade or the brightener or this finishing powder because they all have shimmer in them. Like what kind of finishing powder has shimmer in it? The blush in here is also really nice. I like that color. I don't have anything that's quite that color. even with all those Tarte blushes. So also keeping that one. My OG, my baby, my one true love. This is the Lunatic Cosmetics Labs Pro Contour Volume 1. They do have a Volume 2, which I'm debating on picking up maybe the next time they have a sale and I have the extra cash. I will do that, but I'm supposed to be on a low buy for 2020, so. But I do really like this one because if you run out any of these shades, you can just reorder it on their website. I'm not really close to hitting pan to anything yet. This is probably the closest shade that I'm reaching to, but I do really love the blush options in here. The gray tones are my fave, and then this really deep brown is actually really nice because it's a cool tone. But on the back, it's super helpful because it does have all the labels on here if you do need them for something or if you want to reorder. I love it so much. Gonna knock out a couple blush palettes and it's gonna be on to highlighter palettes and loose pans. So this is the Real Her Be Fearless Be Limitless. This Fearless shade is super shiny and gorgeous. I love it so much. I don't really have a blush that is the equivalent of that besides my Wet n Wild single, but if I end up having to declutter that one, then I will. We'll talk about that one here shortly. My Limitless shade here in the center, I don't use it a whole lot. I kind of mix these two together if I'm going to be wearing a blush tone that's similar to that. Normally I'll pick up this next palette that we'll talk about here if I want more of a warmy kind of poppy pink shade. But this Unstoppable shade, if you can tell, like that's the dirtiest one out of them all, but I really like how neutral it is, and you can actually use this as like a bronzer or a contour as well. You don't have to use this as just a blush, so that's why I really like that one. Alamar Cosmetics. I was introduced to Alamar in my BOXYCHARM, but this is the Color Art Blush Trio. They released two of these. This is the lighter version. This is the Fair Light. This contains the shades Castaway, Paraiso, and Scorcher. I love the Paraiso shade so much. I like Scorcher for when I'm wearing a more of an orangey look, and then Castaway if I'm gonna highlight that kind of orangey look, but I really do like the shade options in here. I thought I wasn't gonna like it as much when I first got it in my BOXYCHARM. I was like, ooh, an orange blush, like who's gonna use that? But orange and yellow blushes are actually becoming very trendy, so I'm glad that I already have this in my collection, even though I'm very much eyeing that Likely Makeup's Fairy blush and also their Clown blush. So I'm gonna keep her. On to highlighter palettes. So I'll start with a doozy. So this is the Be Sweet Glow Highlighter Kit from Bombshell Cosmetica. This was my first original purchase with Bombshell. I got this order super quick. I didn't have to wait for any bullshit excuses to be happening. But these days, man, I don't know what's going on. But the inside of it is really pretty. It's very similar shade to the Trophy Wife Kilowatt from Fenty Beauty. And then it has some nice like light tones with it for pinks, and then even some nice golden yellows. I want to declutter Bombshell so bad for my collection because I just cannot stand the brand anymore. They really piss me off with the way that they handle their customer service and the way they go back and delete multiple comments of people who are disgruntled. I don't think any brand should go and delete comments like that. Like, yeah, if they're defamatory or if they're not accurate, it's just really hard for me to support a brand like that. So this is why I've kind of stopped using this palette, but I don't want to get rid of it. I really like cute little layout of it. I like the product itself, so I'm going to keep this one. I'm not going to get rid of it, but I'm definitely not going to be using it. I'm just going to keep it until they get their shit together, and if they don't, eventually maybe the next declutter it will go away.
Highlighter palettes, oh my god.
If you guys have not bought this from Sephora yet on sale for $10, you should. This is the Alchemist palette from Kat Von D. I bought this originally when it came out, and it was like one of the last ones for me to get at like a JCPenney Sephora outlet. I still use these shades from time to time. There are some formulas that are similar as far as texture, like just having a glow highlight versus a glitter highlight, but we'll declutter it. Bring on the Anastasia glow kits. So the first one is the Aurora one, only shade in like my whole collection in general at all for anything that I've actually panned. I am going to keep this one because I still pick it up from time to time. Her Moon Child palette from Anastasia as well. This was my first ever like big girl glow kit that I bought like as soon as it released. I still really love it. I still use it from time to time. It has bluey purples in here that I don't really have in other parts of my collection, so I'm still gonna keep this one. Yeah, we're best friends. This was the collab with Nicole Guerrero from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This one has my most natural shades in it. And then this pop of white I really do love. Forever Young is probably my favorite one in this kit. So I am going to keep this one as well. It just has good sentimental value. And like I said, I don't really buy a lot of beige highlights, so I'm going to keep that one. This Dream palette, I liked the idea of it. I thought it was super pretty. Also, like, look how crumbly it is. All that stuff on the side, that's literally just from storing it. It's not even from using. Don't want to pick it up because of how crumbly it is. So I'm going to clean it and then give it away. Bye, girl. Last little palette. This is the Naked Cosmetics. This is the holographic highlighter collection. This has 6 shades in it. It has like a pink, a lavender, kind of like a terracotta blue, purple shift, a green, a blue, and a yellow. It's super nice, great for travel. I like the formula a lot. I don't hate it, but I never pick it up because I have other things. If you guys can tell how much other shit I'm keeping that I prefer more. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one and give it to someone. Not really a palette, but it's still like a little container. This is the Naked Illuminated from Urban Decay. This is in the shade Aura. It's just one big domed highlighter. Like, this is more for like a body highlight, but I just use it for face. I like using it when I'm wearing like a more natural tone or like a pink or a red look. And I like how it has this little storage down here for its brush that comes with it. Keeping it. Okay, jumping back into blush and contour real quick. So this is just a Z palette. These 2 larger pans are from ColourPop. This is Private Party and To The 10. Keeping them. I want to start using them more because, like, look how big those fucking palettes are. They're like a 57mm pan. It's ridiculous. The other contour shade is from Makeup Geek. I do like that one as well. It's a nice cool tone brown. And then these other 2 blush pans here in the center are also from Makeup Geek. I got them, I think, the last time I ever ordered from Makeup Geek. Not because Makeup Geek's bad, but I just don't ever really order from them all the time. But I do like their face products, so I'm keeping those. This other one is a blush. I want to say that it's from like a Juvia's Place singles bundle that I got, but I just never threw it away. But I do like it for a blush, even though it's probably meant to be an eyeshadow. So this next one is from these circular pans on here. These 8 over here are from Luxie. I like them. They're one of my original like indie brand highlight purchases. The square pans are from F.A.I.R, and then this circular one right here, it's actually in a plastic. I don't know where it came from. I cannot remember for the life of me. But yeah, so it's just gonna stay there. I'm not getting rid of any of the F.A.I.R shades because it's one of my affiliate brands. You can use the code FASTTIMES to save yourself 10% on any of your orders, or check out any of her sales because she's always running a sale because girl, she gotta make that money. But these Luxie shades, I'm gonna keep 6 of them. The other 2, these 2 that are lifted up here, I'm actually going to declutter. But I don't pick them up, and if I need like a more neutral shade, I'm gonna go into that Nicole Guerrero one. But I'm gonna declutter both of those, give them away. But these 2 shades in the center, one is actually a duplicate of the other, so I could probably afford to get rid of this other one as well. If y'all haven't tried anything from Luxie, I know that she decreased her prices. Highlighters, I believe now are $3.50, and the pans for eyeshadows used to be $5 and now they're $2.50. So if you want to try some indie shades but you don't want to pay big bucks that are quality, definitely check out Luxie. It's worth your time. Let me go ahead and move you over here with your friends. Much better. I feel good about that. My keep pile is getting too large, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, last but not least, these are all Davina highlighters. I really love all of them. Let's swatch them so you can see. We'll do Marina, Delirium, and Rapture. Those are the ones I use like quite a lot. No, Marina, Delirium, and Rapture. These are super powdery, but they go on so nice in the pan. And once you kind of blend them out, you lose that white cast. But just look how beautiful those are. I didn't even have to really press in the pans. I just did because I'm trash. Give Kat Von D's palette run for her money. We're getting rid of 3 loose pans from Luxie, or 3 palettes. So how interesting that they're all ones that are like unnatural colors except for the pan. Okay, I'm gonna move these out of the way so I have more room for the next round of shit. Next group of items. These are all like my single things. This includes some blushes, some loose powders, some contour, bronzer things, my concealers, and my foundation. I'm gonna start with my facial powders first. So we'll finish up like blushes and stuff, and then we'll kind of get back into the wet items. So we have 4 setting face powders. These are what I survived after doing my declutter just based off of being non-cruelty free. So we have the Jeffree Star Magic Star setting powder. This is in Rose. I'm surprised I haven't panned it, but I kind of stopped using it daily so I would make it last longer. But I really do like this one. Definitely keeping that one. Becca, you guys have seen me used this like every day for the last 3 months. This one is my secondary jar. I just started, but this one is not as wet as the initial one, so I'm kind of annoyed by that. So I'm trying to just finish it as soon as possible so I can move on to other powders. This e.l.f. one, I wanted to give it another try. This is a matte setting powder as well, but it's a little yellow for my liking. I normally like more of a white or a translucent base, but we're gonna give it a try again, and if I don't like it, I'll just throw it away or gift it to someone. Too Faced Primed and Poreless. I was obsessed with this powder. I think it's so good. It's cruelty free, so I love that. Brushes right on and off, so I'm actually going to keep this one. I can never find this in store, so I always have to like order it online. We only have a few bronzers. Let's see. So this Wet n Wild one, this is a nice bronzer palette. I picked this up for when Chip and I did a drugstore bingo for Wet n Wild, so I used to really like it. I'm going to keep it. I love how big the pan is. It's super slender for storage, so I really do like that. And the blush is the same way, but it's not quite as wide, so keeping that one. This is the Pretty Vulgar one. I like it. It's a little warm, but it blends out really nice. Keep it for now, but maybe next to clutter it will be lost. I have a really tiny Bahama Mama from the Balm, but I think I'm going to end up getting rid of this one because I just like don't really use it a lot, and I'm actually going to throw this one away. It's just so small for a sample. Like I just can't get a contour brush in there. This Laura Geller one, it's nice, but like damn, does it get dark on me? Well, maybe not so much. Why do I feel like this was so much darker? This doesn't even look that dark. You can barely even tell. All right, so we're gonna throw that one away. I don't know anyone that would need that.
Blushes.
I'm just gonna set them all out and then pick some. So these are all my loose blushes. Like, could you tell I have a blush problem? Like, Jesus Christ. Let's start up here with these Dirty Little Secret. They're baked highlighters, but I use them for blushes. Honestly, I really do like them, but they're gonna survive this time, and afterwards, if I don't pick them up enough, I will get rid of them. Another thing from Pretty Vulgar, this is a blush. I do like how rosy this is, but I feel like I got it somewhere. It is very close to that Revolution one. I'm actually going to declutter this Revolution matte blush, even though it's super great and it hasn't ever done me wrong. It's just super old, so I need to actually get rid of it. Plus, like, how many more circle compacts do I need? We're going to keep the Pretty Vulgar one. This was in the Hush Blush shade. Okay, Papa Don't Peach Too Faced. Do love this one. Do I have similar blushes? Probably. This one has a shimmer in it, though. Still smells really good. I'm gonna keep it for now. I just love how small and adorable that is. Okay, this Studio Makeup Luminous Blush. This is a loose blush, so I don't really care for it. I feel like I have a similar tone in this somewhere. Yeah, super close. I'm gonna declutter this one, but I'll give this one away because I haven't used it very much, but it is really nice. I don't ever pick it up because it's loose. Keep this Note one. I have barely used it, so I need to actually use it more. It actually has a little brush in there underneath. The Steve Laurent one. I know I have a similar shade somewhere. While I'm looking at these Balm ones, I'm actually going to get rid of all those because even though these are super adorable and nice, like they're just too tiny, so I'm going to throw those away. Maybe I don't have a dupe for this. Ooh, that one's almost an exact dupe. Yep, basically the same. Cool. Then I can get rid of it. Sometimes it's hard to tell, you guys, if you want to have like a singular shade versus a whole palette with that shade in there. They'll tell me down below for people who like to tag on Instagram. Do you like tagging one particular shade in a whole palette? Or do you like being able to tag just a singular product? Okay, this F.A.I.R one, this is in the Cotton Candy Blusher. This is actually pretty new. I got this in like one of my last Ipsies before I canceled it. I do like the pink. I don't think I have a similar tone for it per se. Maybe that Milani blush is pretty close. Let's take a look. I love this Milani brush, so I'm not getting rid of that. And that has like a shimmer to it too. Nope, they're pretty different. I don't know if you can tell. The Milani one is more of like a peachier tone versus that F.A.I.R is more of a pinky tone. So we'll keep both of those and just get them out of the way. This Hourglass one, I love it. It's super neutral, just like that Unstoppable shade from that Real Her Be Fearless, Be Limitless palette. So I'm gonna keep that one. Plus I love how tiny this packaging is. I really wanna get their big Ghost palettes. This Wet n Wild one I really do love. I use this in my Jeffree Star video. I'll link that up in the eye if you wanna see it. But this was like the pinkest, like most bubblegum shade that I had for blush at that time. And I like that it has that sparkle in it, so I'm not gonna get rid of it. Plus it's super slender to store, so plus. These Tarte ones, I know I probably got dupes for these. The Amazonian Clay Blush Lives to Die Another Day. I don't have a problem with doing those because I like them in their tiny little shades, and you could depot those if you want. I just choose not to. Okay, this Daisy and Pearl Radiance Booster from Seraphine Botanicals. It's nice, but like, do I use it enough? This is more of like a highlight than a blush, but I like to use it as a blush if I'm feeling a little extra shiny for the day. It reminds me of the shades in that Cover Effects palette, so I'm gonna declutter this one, give it away. This Manicadar one, I love it, but God, is it not crumbly. I'm just gonna throw this one away, but I do really like their products. This Oprah one with Madison Miller is super new. I don't watch Madison Miller, so I have no idea who she really is, but I like the shade of the blush, so I'm gonna keep that one. It's really nice and pristine, super fresh. Laura Geller one. I like this one when I'm doing a really rosy look, so I'm definitely gonna keep it. All right, so out of those blushes, I got rid of 3 and I'm throwing away like 5. Not too bad, not too bad. All right, these are contours and concealers. So another one from Manicadar. This is not really like a contour per se. This is more of like an eyeshadow stick, but I do really like it for a gray cream contour. I found this when I was looking through my collection to find like a grayer tone, and I really did like it when I did my Halloween stuff. So I'm gonna keep that one. This Wet n Wild contour stick. When we do drugstore bingos, if I don't end up picking up a product on me and Chip's channel, I end up using this a lot, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. It has a light and a dark shade. Fenty, this is my amber matchstick that I was gonna depot because I just opened this, so I'm still gonna do that, but I'm gonna wait until I figure out where I'm gonna depot that to. But this was my favorite matchstick. This Maybelline needs to go away. It's way too old, and this should have been decluttered. Dubious Place. This is J24. This is a cool toned concealer. It's my brightest one I have currently, so I'm gonna be keeping this one. These 2 from ColourPop I really do enjoy. This is the Fair 00, which is the white shade, and then Fair 06. I could probably go lighter than this one. This is more similar to the color foundations that I'm wearing now. So I kind of mix both of these together, and it actually works out pretty nicely. So I'm keeping both of those. This Tarte Shape Tape. How much of it is in here still? Not a whole lot. I just haven't been grabbing this, so I'm actually going to get rid of this one. I'm going to throw it away. This Naked Skin. I've been trying to use it lately to see if it works out, but it's just... it's like too neutral and like yellow tone, even though this is fair neutral. Fair neutral my ass. We're gonna throw that one away. This one from Smashbox. I tried this, like the formula wasn't bad, but the color is too dark. Like that's more of a tan, if you want to consider the one next to it a neutral. It's too dark, so, and that kind of smells, ew, like old. Also need to throw it away. This Kokie, I really did like it when I first got it. This is a Kokie Professional Be Bright. I wonder if I still like the shade of this. Even though this one's kind of dark, it's... nope, not it at all. It's too dark. I'm gonna have to get rid of it. But I did like the formula of it. I thought it was nice. Milani Conceal and Perfect. This one I like the formula, but it's almost the same shade as like the actual foundation. And it's getting a little bit more on the darker side for me. Man, when I do that Urban Decay one next to the other ones, it does look very neutral. It's just so yellow toned. I don't get it. I think I might save this one and just use it for blending with that Juvia's Place one if I don't like it too much being so cold. Okay, this Ofra Skin Sculpting Wand. I picked this up when I was interested in trying like a more creamier like contour, and I do really like the color of it. It blends out like a dream, so even though it's kind of almost done, I'm gonna go ahead and keep that one. This is the concealer from LA Girl. This is the Pro Conceal. This is one of my lighter ones, but I don't necessarily care so much for the formula of it. So I'm going to keep it for now, but then I may end up like getting rid of it. I can't find a way to like really use it, but it is one of my lightest concealers that's not like a cool tone. It's just like a light neutral. My Jeffree Star C2, this one's basically almost done, so I'm not going to swatch it, but I did really like this one. I'll probably reorder it when I finally get this one out. I took the little tubing end of this out so I would be able to get all the product because I'm psycho. Then we have some ABH stick foundations. This one's in Fawn. I like this one because it's cool tone brown. It blends out really nice. Like the shadow one I've already depotted. It's darker. It's a little bit more warmer though. And then this is a banana one from ABH, but I think I'm gonna get rid of this one because it's like not even my shade anymore. Yeah, that one's gonna go. All right, these foundations I'm keeping, but I just wanna show you what I'm currently using. So this Urban Decay Stay Naked, this was probably my warmest tone out of all of them. I don't know what it is with Urban Decay, but even with the All Nighter, I'm having a problem trying to shade match it to me. This is the 11NN, which is the neutral Like, I have to go neutral with Urban Decay because if I try to go light and fair, it just doesn't work. But out of 50 Shades, for them to release for this particular collection, it just becomes uncomfortable to wear after a few hours, honestly. It is so matte. It reminds me a lot of the Fenty. I feel like people are going more for like a dewy or satin finish these days versus a matte. So like for them to come out with this extreme like matte formula, it was kind of odd. But it's nice when I mix it with like my LA Pro, which is super light, and this one is more so for like fair undertones. And I love that they have this in glass packaging. For being a drugstore brand, the packaging is super nice and heavy. It makes you feel like you're not buying drugstore. Definitely one I'm going to repurchase. Is one of my favorite ones for 2019. The Morphe one was also one of my favorites. This is for the pink undertones. So this is the shade 1.30. I love it. This is my second repurchase of it, so I'm happy about that. This Milani Conceal and Perfect, this is the lightest shade, I want to say, and it works fine when I mix it with this LA Pro. I'm going to try to get some of the lighteners from LA Girl and mix in with this Conceal and Perfect because I think I might get exactly what I'm looking for there. So that concludes this part. Okay, and this is stuff that I'm throwing away and or hiding away, so you getting hidden away. This will be destroyed, this will be destroyed, and everything else is gonna be thrown away, especially the concealers, because honestly I just don't need them and no one else needs them, so I'm just gonna get rid of them. But yeah, pretty successful. A lot of the balms took a hit, a lot of the concealers took a hit, but yeah, still I'm feeling good. Okay guys, if you've made it this far, you've reached the end of the video, thank you so much for sticking through it. Sometimes I like to play declutters around in the background, so even if you're not fully watching, you know, I hope that you're at least letting it play in the background. Thank you so much for following me today and just watching everything that I've posted thus far. Like, y'all are the best. Hope that I don't lose subscribers over doing all these declutters, but I think it's important to document the process, so this time next year when I do another declutter, maybe I can make better choices and see how my collection has changed throughout the year and get rid of some of those things that I'm like, did I really use you and I kept you around? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that like button before you go if you did enjoy this video and you would like to follow my future content or watch my past content. I'll leave some videos down at the end screen for you to kind of check out, but I'll see you guys on next video. Bye!